Hey, leaders from Eastern Ontario and Nunavut District. Just want to bring a word of encouragement. First, I got to find a place to shoot. Okay, she's in there. Can't do this in there. We've got to find a place in this house. Let's try the bathroom. Nope. Okay, didn't even know we had a dog. Awesome. Somebody's in there. Hello? Nope. Okay, thanks anyways. We really need to find a spot to shoot this video. So, maybe I'll have some luck downstairs since this room is okay. Always taken by video games, so I'm not shooting here, obviously. Okay, let's try back here. Kid in there. I didn't even know we had that many kids, but let's try. Okay, anyone in here? Hello. All right, success. We will shoot in here. Hey pastors, leaders from Eastern Ontario Nunavut District, my name's Jeremy and welcome to my laundry room. Yes, we finally found a spot that we could shoot this video, and I wanted to take a few moments of your time on this Tuesday after Easter to just give you a short little word of encouragement and check in with you and see how you're doing. I want to congratulate you and let you know how impressed we've been at the district office, and you've made it through the Easter season with so much creativity, and you've been navigating your way and your people through this crisis despite all the obstacles and the challenges that you've been faced up against. You've been doing it so well and leading so well. And one thing that's been evident through this is that crisis is definitely a catalyst for creativity, and we've seen so much of that recently. It's been so impressive. But the flip side of that is that crisis is also a conduit for catastrophe, leadership catastrophe. And we want to be very careful in these days, especially this week. My guess is that you were probably doing pretty well in the beginning, even though you're managing and making all these decisions and problem solving and trying to bring a measure of certainty in the midst of uncertainty. And amidst all of that, people at time to time were probably checking in and saying, "Hey, leader, how you doing?" And our response is usually the same, "Yeah, we're doing pretty good." But I'm wondering this week if is really when it'll begin to sink in for many of us as leaders, just those lows, and we begin to crash a bit. And in the midst of those lows, it can be very tempting to believe things that are just not true. Things like we're underqualified, that we should give up or give in and quit, and we can't do this, we're incapable. Or these feelings can leave us feeling so paralyzed. And so I wanted to encourage you with this message today, that you, my friend, my leaders across Eastern Ontario, Nunavut District, and even beyond, that you were made for this. That God, think about it for a second. I know you maybe don't feel like you were made for this, but you were. That God, before the beginning of mankind, He saw this, what we'd be in the middle of, in the midst of in 2020. He knew the year that you would be born and fast tracking to today, and saw that you would be leading in your position of leadership, in your context, in your community for such a time as this. And He chose you. Jeremiah 1:5 says that God knew you and formed you before He even made you in your mother's womb. He knew you, He set you apart, and He called you for such a time as this. And so leaders, God has chosen you to lead in the midst of this. You were made for this. And so I challenge you to lead. Lead. Don't sit back and just react in the moment to the things that you're being faced with. I encourage you to lead. Don't just sit back and put life on pause like some are tempted to do in the midst of crisis and just wait for things to go back to normal, whatever that may look like. That's not what leaders do. Leaders lead. And so the first way you can do that is to lead yourself well. You know, sometimes that's as simple as just taking a deep breath and learning to breathe again. Breathe your way through this. Inhaling for 4 seconds and exhaling for 6 seconds, just slowing down your breathing and taking some moments throughout your day, maybe 10 minutes at a time, and just slow down your breathing and breathe again and realize that you're going to be okay. We're going to make it. You're going to make it. And things like sleep, exercise, and diet, sometimes they're the first things to go in the midst of crisis, because we're running on all cylinders and cortisone levels are shooting through the roof and our adrenal glands are on overdrive. And so then when all that starts to settle again after the dust, we can start to feel those crashes, those lows. And it's really important in the midst of those feelings and those lows to especially prioritize sleep and exercise and diet. Also mentally, how are you doing mentally? Don't forget about our mental health. We hear so much about it now, and it's become such an ever-increasing struggle for so many leaders. And I encourage you, things like depression and anxiety, and if learning to assess those types of feelings. And if you don't know how to do that, I encourage you to visit our website, eod.paoc.org. We've got resources that right on our homepage. We've developed a COVID-19 resource tab. I encourage you to visit that. In there, you can scroll down and find a Shalem Clergy Care Network tab that you can click on, and they've developed a special page in the midst of this, and you can still get care from them, even under these COVID-19 legislations where we can't get together. They're obviously doing it a different way, but they're still there and want to make themselves available, especially for you as a leader. And so take care of yourself. Lead yourself well. The second thing is lead like God called you to lead. And I specifically say you, because you're not called to lead like everyone else is leading right now. And listen, comparison is such a major issue right now for leaders because we've all been forced to move all of our ministries online. And so everything is accessible. We see everything now. If we're on and scrolling through social media, and we can see what other pastors and leaders are doing around the globe, not even just in around our community, but everywhere. And so comparing becomes a major issue. And I want to remind you that comparison is not a comparison issue. It's a vision issue. And the real issue is that you lack the vision from God to know what He's called you to do. You see, there are all sorts of opportunities right now. We've talked a bit about the obstacles and the challenges that we've been facing. There's also all sorts of opportunities. You could be doing all sorts of things right now, and many are tempted to do anything and everything right now. But I encourage you to once again, breathe and ask God, begin asking God, what's He called you to do? What has He now made possible that wasn't possible before for you to be doing? And here's the difference. It's the difference between an opportunity and an assignment. An opportunity is good, and there's all sorts of them out there right now. An assignment is something specific that God has assigned for you and your church to do in your community. So what has God assigned you to do in this season? He's given you the resources, the tools, the capacity, the people around you to do it. What's He assigned for you? And forget about what anyone else is doing around you. If you want more on comparison trap, we developed an entire episode on that in our Leadership Matters podcast. It's episode 24. You can find that wherever you find your podcast. Just search Leadership Matters and go to episode 24 to hear more about the comparison trap. Here's the deal. We need to stop trying to figure out how we can continue doing what we've always done. These are times, significant times, I believe, innovative times where we can begin asking, how will we do what we've been called / assigned to do in this different world that we now live in? If you're struggling and leading through this crisis, I want to make you aware of another awesome resource. We've also got it on our resource tab on our website. It's called How to Lead Through Crisis. It's a free online course, 7 sessions with Kerry Newhoff. You can find it through all of his websites and blogs and everything else too if you want to go directly that way, but it's free. I just finished the course. It's phenomenal. All kinds of awesome material that will help you and give you the confidence, make you feel equipped to lead through this current crisis that we're all facing. So I want to encourage you with that message today that you were made for more. Why is this important? Because people are looking for leadership right now. Sound leadership. Leadership that is authentic, leadership that acknowledges the current realities we're all facing. Listen, I'm acknowledging the current realities. It's hard working from home to find a spot where we can even shoot a video and have some silence. So that's why I did this in my laundry room. No polished background. I could have chose other places, but I thought, man, I want to show you I'm in this with you. I'm present with you in this current crisis that we're all in. And so I wanted you to know in the midst of all of that you were made for this moment, to lead full of faith, acknowledging the current realities, yes, but leading full of faith and hope for the future, and that God can use this for our good and to advance His kingdom. Listen, we are here for you at Eastern Ontario Nunavut District. We're a phone call, a text, an email away. All of us are making ourselves available to you directly, so please reach out. If you're feeling lonely, isolated, whatever, you just want somebody to talk to, please reach out to us. We're here for you. We love you, and we're praying for you. Hey, if you need a laugh, I want you to hang on and keep watching this video. We've developed, my family and I, a quick little couple-minute thank you note, COVID-19 edition of thank you notes that hopefully will give you a laugh. We really need to learn to laugh again, especially in the midst of crisis. It's just so helpful and good medicine for our soul. So check this out. Hey EOND, here's our thank you note edition, special edition, coronavirus edition, COVID-19. Got some help here. Jake, off your phone, bud. Could we get some thank you note music? Is that possible?
Yes, sir.
All right, here we go. We got a few of these. That's excellent. You've really been taking this online schooling seriously. First thank you is to, ready? Let's try and get the timing of this. Thank you, Zoom, for giving everyone in our church the ability to make fun of us as pastors or someone else in our church every Sunday morning while they keep their own videos off. Thanks, Zoom. Appreciate that. Thank you, online schooling, for giving each of our kids more reasons to believe that we as their parents know absolutely nothing as we try to help them figure out their schoolwork. Thanks, schools. Thank you, Coffee Mug, for being our Bible's consistent sidekick for every devotional video we create and post online. Thanks, Coffee Mug. Thank you, local waste facility, aka dump, for not being open when every single one of us is decluttering, cleaning, and throwing things away like we never have before in the history of mankind. Thanks, Dump. And finally, thank you, Pastor Spouse, for overnight becoming the media pastor of every North American church. We thank you, our own, you, behind the camera right now. Thank you. And that is our edition of EOND's Thank You Notes, COVID-19 edition. From our family to yours, stay well, stay healthy, stay distanced. We love you, praying for you. Peace on your melon.